Have you ever wondered why some businesses can launch a digital product and have customers buying within days, while others spend months building something that nobody seems to want? Well, it's not their product quality, it's not their marketing budget, it's not even their audience size. It's what happens in those critical first 7 days after launch. And after helping thousands of business owners and agency founders generate millions in revenue through strategic digital product launches, I've discovered that most people fail not because they build a bad product, but because they skip the foundation that turns browsers into buyers. That's why today I'm going to show you the exact 3-part framework that lets you go from idea to paying customer in just 7 days. And I'll walk you through the psychology behind why this works, even if you don't have a massive following, a fancy website, or years of experience. Because here's the truth. Launching digital products successfully isn't about perfection. It's about psychology and process. So let's dive in and get started with something that might sting a little bit. And that is that most digital product launches fail before they even begin. You've probably seen this yourself. Someone announces their new course or template or digital service. They post about it on social media, maybe they send a few emails, and then crickets. Meanwhile, you see other creators, often with much smaller audiences, launching products that seem to sell out in hours. So what's the difference? Well, it's not the product, it's not the audience, it's not even the marketing. It's the system. You see, contrary to popular belief, digital products don't actually sell themselves. You need a structure. And ideally, you need a structure that does 3 things and does them really well. First, it captures attention at the exact moment someone realizes that they have a problem that you solve. Second, it converts that attention into action by removing friction and building trust. And then third, it automates the follow-up, so you're not leaving any money on the table. Without those 3 elements, your digital product is just a really great idea, sitting in what I call the digital graveyard. You know, that folder on your computer that's full of brilliant ideas that have never made you a dime. And all of this creates what I call the launch system gap, and it's the reason why people say that digital products are saturated or nothing's working anymore. Again, it's not saturated, it's just a lack of structure. Now the good news is that this structure is completely fixable, and once you've got it in place, every future product launch becomes predictable instead of hopeful. So let me show you exactly how to build it now. First, let me tell you a real quick story about Sean, an agency owner who came to me completely frustrated. He'd spent months building what he called the perfect client onboarding course. There were detailed modules and beautiful slides and hours of recorded video content, and he launched it to his email list of 800 people and made 2 sales. That's right, just 2. Now he was convinced that his audience either didn't want it, or his pricing was off, or maybe he needed more followers and a bigger audience. But when I took a look at his launch system, the problem was pretty obvious. His sales page had 6 different calls to action. His checkout process required people to create accounts before they could even see the price. And if someone didn't buy immediately, all they got was radio silence. I'm talking no follow-up, no nurturing, nothing. Long story short, Sean didn't have a product problem. He had a path problem. I mean, just imagine for a second walking into a store looking for a pair of running shoes, but the shelves are cluttered with boots and flip-flops and scarves and random signs pointing everywhere. No one greets you, there's no clear path to what you need, so you leave and you go somewhere else, even though the perfect pair of running shoes was sitting there on the back wall the whole time. Sadly, and commonly, that's what happens to most digital products. Their failure isn't a traffic problem, it's not an audience problem, it's a systems problem. You need a clear path that guides people from, what is this, to, I need this, and you need it without friction or confusion or decision fatigue. But more on that in just a second. So let me walk you through what I call the launch magnet method now. It's a 3-part framework that pulls buyers in without you having to chase them down. Part 1 is focus. Focus means that every page, every message, every piece of content has one job and only one job. When someone lands on your website or your landing page or your offer, what's the next step? Not 5 different steps, not book a call or email me or download this freebie or check out my social media, just one. One clear offer, one clear action, one clear value proposition. This is where Sean went wrong and where most people sabotage themselves. They try to be everything to everyone and end up converting no one. Just pause for a second here and think about your current setup. Does your page or your website or wherever you're sending traffic to have just one clear next step, or are you overwhelming people with options? Now here's why this works psychologically. When faced with too many choices, our brains naturally default to making no choice at all. This is called decision paralysis, and it's conversion poison. But when you give someone one clear, valuable option, their brain can focus on evaluating that option instead of being overwhelmed by all the different possibilities. So if you're selling a template, don't distract people with a blog. If you're selling a course, don't offer coaching on the same page. If you're trying to get people on your email list, don't offer them 3 different freebies. Pick a single priority and build around that. And if all else fails, just remember this. Clarity sells, confusion kills conversions. It's not very catchy and it doesn't rhyme, but it works. Part 2 is flow. Flow is the emotional journey that your buyer takes without them even really realizing it. Think of it like building a well-marked trail through a crowded forest. The headline is your trailhead sign. This is the path to solve your problem. The sub-headline says, we know exactly how you feel. The product preview shows them what's at the end of the trail. Testimonials are like trail markers along the way, things that say, others have walked this path, it works. Then the call to action is the gate. Let's go. If you do this well, people don't stop to ask, should I trust this? Or is this the right product for me? They just keep walking toward the solution. Here's what a strong flow looks like in practice. A headline that speaks directly to a problem they know they have, not a problem you think they should have. A subheadline that shows that you understand their specific pain and the frustration that it creates. A preview of the solution and what their life looks like after they implement it. Social proof that builds credibility. These are the testimonials and case studies, even simple statistics that show that this works for real people. And then finally, a single frictionless call to action that feels like the natural next step. And here's the key. This flow doesn't stop at your sales page. It continues into your checkout process, your thank you page, and then your email onboarding. Every step should feel intentional and seamless. When Sean rebuilt his system with this proper flow in place, he went from 2 sales to 21 sales with the same audience, same product, same price, just a different path. Part 3 is follow-up. Sadly, this is the part where most people leave thousands of dollars on the table, often much more than that. Here's how it normally looks. Someone visits your page, they're interested, maybe they even click buy, but life happens. They close the tab, they get distracted, they forget, and with no follow-up system in place, that sale vanishes forever. Adios, money. Think of it like this. Launching anything, actually, without a proper follow-up in place is kind of like filling a bathtub without plugging it. You can put in all the traffic you want, the social media posts, the emails, the ads, but without a structure to capture and nurture all of that interest, customers are just going to drain right out the bottom. But if you can reconnect with a simple email that says, still thinking about the problem, here's how this product helps, you're back in the conversation. Keep in mind, you're going to want to replace the problem with whatever problem your customers have. And if you follow that up with a sequence that addresses common objections and shows proof and delivers value, then you, my friend, have won by default because most sellers disappear right after day 1. But let me give you a few examples of exactly what smart follow-up looks like. It could be an abandoned cart sequence that addresses the real reasons people hesitate, a welcome sequence that delivers immediate value and reinforces their decision, educational content that builds trust over time, strategic offers that genuinely help them and help them get better results. Just ask yourself right now, what happens to someone who visits your page but doesn't buy immediately? If the answer is nothing, you're leaving money on the table. But here's the beautiful part. Once you understand focus, flow, and follow-up, building the system itself becomes shockingly simple. You don't need a $5,000 custom website. You don't need to duct tape together 10 different tools. You just need a platform that's built for speed and conversion. So let's talk about that now. If you're building a digital product business, your website isn't just important, it's the foundation. And the fastest, smartest way to build one, well, that's Hostinger. Now, I recommend the business plan because it unlocks AI tools and e-commerce features and everything you need to build a site that actually sells and not just looks good. To get it set up, go to the link down in the descriptions below and use code ADAM for an exclusive discount at checkout. Once you're in, select the AI website builder. This is where it gets good. Enter your brand name, choose your website type, and describe your business in 1 sentence. In seconds, you've got a clean, professional site, and customizing it is as easy as dragging and dropping things into place. Move anything, edit anything, no code required. But wait, there's more. I love saying that. Want better headlines? Use the built-in AI writer. As for the e-commerce store, just upload a photo of your product and the AI instantly writes the description and recommends a price. And here's the best part. The builder has 0% transaction fees, so you keep every dollar you earn. Need a logo? Done. In 1 click. Hostinger gives you everything you need to launch and sell your digital products fast. So make sure to check out the link below and use code ADAM to get started today. Because that's the real power here. When you have the right strategy and the right tools, launching becomes repeatable. You're not reinventing the wheel, you're just plugging your next idea into a proven system. And once I made that shift, everything changed. And once I shifted to this systematic approach, everything changed. Not just for me, but for every client I worked with. Launch times went from months to days because we weren't reinventing the wheel each time. Conversion rates consistently doubled because we eliminated the confusion and friction that pretty much kills sales. Revenue became predictable because the follow-up sequences kept working behind the scenes. But the real transformation wasn't in the metrics. It was in the mindset shift. Instead of launching and hoping, we were launching and optimizing. Instead of treating each product as a separate experiment, we were plugging proven offers into a system that we knew already worked. We had the freedom to create without getting stuck in tech complications, and we had the structure to scale without burning out. Let me give you a specific example though. I once worked with an agency owner named Marcus, who was spending around 3 weeks building a brand new landing page for every single new service package that he wanted to test. By the time he launched, his market research was pretty much outdated, and he'd lost all of that momentum. But after implementing the launch magnet method, Marcus could test a new service concept in 3 days. If it worked, he'd scale it. If he didn't, he'd pivot quickly and save massive sunk costs. In his first 60 days alone using this approach, he launched and tested 4 different digital products. 2 flopped, 2 succeeded, generating an additional $23,000 in revenue that quarter. But here's what Marcus told me. The real win wasn't the money. It was finally feeling in control of my business instead of constantly reacting to what wasn't working. And that's the shift that I want you to experience, from hoping your next launch works to knowing exactly why it's going to work. But let's zoom out for a minute here, because everything we've talked about, the psychology, the strategy, the systems, is not just about digital products. This is more about control. This is about finally having a business that works on purpose, not by accident. It's about moving from hustle to leverage, from one-time wins to systems that scale, from I hope this works to I know this works. That's what digital products unlock when you do them right. You go from chasing clients to attracting customers. You go from selling your time to owning your time. And you go from being the product to building products that work for you and work without you. But the important point to remember here is that the real value isn't the digital product itself, it's the system that sells it. I mean, especially now, thanks to AI, anyone can create a PDF or record a course or design a template. But the reason that some creators and business owners are hitting 10K, 50K, even 100K plus per month isn't because they just made something. It's because they built a system around it. They launched fast using their existing expertise. They focused on conversion psychology instead of chasing attention. They productized their knowledge so they could scale beyond trading time for money. They used smart tools to automate follow-up and actually close sales. It's not magic, it's not luck, it's just leverage applied systematically. So now you've got the system to launch and start selling your digital products fast. But here's the thing. Having a product and a launch system is only half the battle. You also need a reliable way to keep new customers coming in on repeat. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you in this next video right here. How Google's AI can literally send you clients on autopilot. So tap or click there to watch it now, and I'll walk you through step by step exactly how to plug AI directly into your marketing system so you can get more traffic, more leads, and more sales without spending months trying to figure it all out. So feel free to tap or click that now, and I'll see you in there in just a second.